Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks for tuning to it. A fine lawn maintenance Tuesday to you and yours. I'm Jeff. That's Tom. We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. That's where you go to listen live via the streaming free. Always don't miss anything. If you do miss something, go back, get caught up. We post all 3 hours of the program every day, both to iTunes and our own audio vault on the webpage. We also feature it on the WTSM app, which is free for all your mobile devices. So you're good that way, too. Hello, YouTubers. Hello, Periscopers. If you're Periscoping, you're doing so at Twitter at 979 ESPN Radio. You can, again, really catch up with us a myriad of ways. There it is. Should have stuck with my original instinct and just done it. But Clemson is better than Alabama, and it's not close. 44-16, and Trevor's the better of the quarterbacks. He's going to be the first pick in the draft 2 freaking years from now. It's a shame that young man is being held back the way that he is. We should fight the system so that the Right to Work Act is in play for a kid like Trevor Lawrence, who desperately probably wants and needs that money. Help that young man leave this institution of higher learning where he can always go back to get his degree after making millions as the #1 pick overall.
Maybe there should be a provision for a top 5 pick. If you get a top 5 grade, then the rule does not apply to you, because then NFL teams are saying you're ready to go. And so
right freaking now.
We want you now.
He would be.
Yes, he would.
He would be the #1 pick in the draft if he could declare right now. 19 years old, he would be #1. And rightfully so. And you'd be an idiot not to draft him. He's a stud. And he's now, we know, impervious to the pressure of these moments. Mm-hmm. He doesn't care. He's one of those guys, one of those freaks. We saw it with Jameis Winston when he was a redshirt freshman. I remember that was one of the things that stood out to me. He's like, he doesn't get nervous. He doesn't care. Oh, we got us one of those. Because it's so rare when you see it. We've all seen them in other sports, and they've some that have come through here, some that have been at other places. When you meet that guy that just doesn't have a conscience, he doesn't feel things. He's either too stupid or too smart, one or the other, to know the deal with what you're actually being asked to do, what's on the line, the magnitude of it all, right? Usually, the rest of us fall in that in-between category where, maybe you have the physical tools or something, but history's not lost on you. The importance of what you're doing is not lost on you. The pressures that accompany skill and those kinds of things, they don't fly over your head. You know, I'm supposed to do this, and there's a pressure with being supposed to do anything. But every now and then, you meet a freaking Tiger Woods, or you meet a guy like this, or you see a guy who's just like, yeah, listen, I've been a badass all my life. I'll just continue being a badass. It's no big thing. It's just football.
Well, this guy's easy breezy about it. But Tiger, squeezes the toothpaste tube, for the last drop that he possibly can. He gets more intense in those moments. This guy looks unbothered.
Oh, no, yeah. And it doesn't matter how you get it done, just that you get to that place. You either have the mental fortitude to squeeze out through sheer will everything your physical tools will allow for in a career like Tiger, or you really do have a good handle on the fact that it is just football. But you believe it. You don't just tell yourself that. You really do. You really do think it's just football. Whatever. If I play well, great. If I don't, I don't. But you mean it when you say it. That's the only way you can do that. It's the only way that the physical tools, of course, have to be there. That's a given with all these guys. But I'm saying you have to believe it. We all tell ourselves stuff. We all lie to ourselves. I mean, that's part of sports psychology. You try to do things repeatedly and think about certain things that help slow your breathing and help you control your emotions. On the golf course, go to an event. You do this. I mean, we all do this. If you go to a sporting event, go watch the pros play. They're all getting into their head before each tee shot. They're breathing. They're visualizing everything that's about to happen. But it's a routine. It's something they've worked to do to get to that place. And then there are these guys that just, it doesn't matter. It's just whatever. I'm playing golf. Freddie Couples just playing golf, man.
Yes, he is.
He's just out here playing some golf. It's crazy. Trevor Lawrence last night looked at this game like it was week 3 against whomever. That's just a game, man.
Yeah. Freddie Couples is a great example. Now, hopefully Trevor's career is more successful than Freddie Couples against the grain of
of
majors and reaching Hall of Fame status through like kicking the door down rather than getting kind of in there because you're a fan favorite and
you won a major and you won a lot of tournaments, 16 I think. So I mean you get.
But if there are rungs on the ladder, like you're near the bottom,
right?
But Freddie, man, on Saturday at Augusta, which is usually when he does his best, right?
He just doesn't care.
He could be at Heilemann.
Yeah,
same thing.
Unbelievable. I mean, I'm amazed by guys like that, and I was amazed watching Trevor Lawrence last night. Here's another thing, and you're going to hear this also on some of the headlines later today. Look, we got to get rid of this narrative, okay? Alabama is an amazing program. Nick Saban has been an all-time coach. But here's the deal. When they face real quarterbacks, they get torched. I mean, they just got done facing one against Oklahoma, who did whatever he wanted in the second half of that football game. Georgia threw it all over their ass. Whenever they get outside the SEC where there are no good quarterbacks, they get torched. These people light them up. And Alabama is susceptible as any team is, as any defense is. If you're facing an elite quarterback, they can do business. They're not impervious to this.
Yes, but this guy looks generational, and those receivers also look generational.
Well, they're incredible. And how about, it's freshman to freshman with the cross kid. Great.
Yep.
Great.
One hand stab against his body's momentum, no problem.
It's just dumb. They kudos to Clemson. And here's the thing.
The one hand stab takes away from the one that was deflected. Yeah. And it's bouncing around. He's got the concentration of a monk who's on fire.
We can do anything you want with numbers, so whatever you want to look at to decide greatness. Of course, we watched the game, and he threw for 347 yards. But, his QBR was 98.2 as a true freshman against Alabama's defense. That's the highest rating for a quarterback ever against an Alabama team in a game like this. And, he's a true freshman. Okay. It's just ridiculous. But it's I think it's something to behold here in that there's something to be said for the loosey-goosey, fun-loving. I mean, those guys play for each other. They play for that program. They play for their head coach. They care deeply about all that is Clemson. He has fostered that.
He has, but here's what's interesting. So the pregame interviews that they did, they go sideline to sideline. And when Rinaldi interviewed Dabo, he was as tight as a drum. He was focused. He was intense. That's as straight-laced as you're going to see him, and straight-faced, I should say, as you're going to see him. Usually it's like, well, okay, here we go, another big opportunity. He was ready to dominate. The attitude of domination that Jimbo so desperately wanted to impart to the 2014 team that he never could. That's the look and feel that Dabo had. And I thought pregame, they're either going to get killed or they might run away with this thing. He knows something, and it's either not good or really good, because that's not typically his pregame stance.
Yeah.
He knew something.
Well, okay, so I'm here for all things Clemson right now and to praise them for what they did, but I also must admit Tua's turnovers killed that team. I mean, Jesus, they're running the football between the two. Stop turning the ball over, man. That interception, okay, the pick six, whatever, but the next one is asinine. He overthrows him by 20 yards. What are you doing? Those were pretty crucial. And then their red zone offense is an abomination. Loxley, what are you doing? We're going to so we're just going to go big personnel and run Tua right up the gut every time we get inside the 20? That's our play? That's our red zone offense? Right. Tua left, Tua right, Tua up the middle? That poor kid took an ass kicking. What are you doing?
Yeah, they ran the standard run pretty well. You would think they probably could run off of that, some sort of RPO, which he's really good at and took advantage of Oklahoma for.
They got thoroughly outcoached last night. It was something to behold. And he's got 700 coaches. Why don't you go hire the next guy that gets fired so he can be out here getting your ass kicked, not scoring a point in the second half? That was remarkable.
It was all Lawrence, though. They couldn't run the ball. Clemson really couldn't run the ball. I mean, it's third and long that this game is defined on.
Yeah, he goes 8 of 12. They never had to, though. They never. I think. I mean, you had the one long ATN run,
but it's third and 14 for the one touchdown or the 60-yard gain.
Third and 12 on another,
and third and 9. I mean, it's these third and long situations, and the kid was just unflappable, and he was willing to trade the punishment.
Oh, he took beatings. He stood in there.
I watched
that throw in the end zone over the top. The defender down low. If you watch the four. The video with the coaches on both sides and the other. Saban looks like like he's about to cry.
That's the video I put out there. I took the video and then I cut to Nick flipping out, his body language, where he's like, "Oh my God,
well,
what do you do with that?"
Yeah, his. I've seen that look. We saw it with every opponent we faced while Jameis Winston was quarterback. And I can still remember that just absolutely exacerbated. What do you want me to do? The kid's out here, Aaron freaking Rodgers. What am I going to do with this, right? And that's the look he had last night.
Yeah, because the receiver's bracketed. He has a defender in the middle.
Perfect throw.
And there's also a free rusher coming at him, and he falls off to his left.
Only spot you could put the ball.
Yes. Think about it this way. So Deshaun Watson, different Clemson quarterback.
Great quarterback.
Remember
in college.
Remember that fourth down play this past weekend where they're going for the end zone instead of 1 yard. They're at the 9-yard line. It's 4th and 1, and they're throwing in the end zone. He throws
shotgun, weren't they?
They're in the gun. Well, that's fine with him if you actually run a zone read or some sort of read option.
Yeah.
But there's a defender in the middle, so he's throwing to Hopkins on a slant, and he overthrows him. But the problem is they had a defensive lineman drop back, and he couldn't hit the window. So you had to make some sort of seeing eye throw. This kid made the seeing eye throw that Deshaun couldn't in the NFL playoffs, and he did it in the college football playoff. 3 people in between plus a free rusher coming at him. That's insane.
Yeah, no, he's really freaking good. It's a problem. He was simply great under duress yesterday. He threw for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns, 4 of 6 with what the so-called under duress stat is, meaning he was being pressured on all of those. He was either hit or had a rusher in his face. Yeah, the only other throw in the last 72 hours that wowed me as much was the 4th down Foles throw. Because go back and watch video of that. That throw's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a sidearm do-jobby there. A guy right in his face.
He'll change his arm angle, won't he?
Yeah, it's an incredible throw. It's also the only spot it could be for him to catch it without being harassed.
The great thing about watching 396 last night, ESPNU on your Xfinity, is the command center, which is what you're talking about. You got the coach boxes, and then you got the wire cam, like the video game angle, plus the normal TV broadcast. And you could see it. Lawrence's pocket presence, he would climb, slide left, slide right. He would time it out and wait to the last second in order to trade punishment because he knew what the reads would be.
Well, it's because he's 6'6", 200+. He's only going to get bigger.
But the ability to climb against Alabama's front and into traffic sometimes in order to trade a hit for a throw, that is something only a senior would do in most places, except this guy's a freak.
First time I've seen Nick Saban look old. He looked old. He knew he was being outcoached. He was mad about it. He was petulant. He said it at halftime. 2 things happened. That's a give up at half. He just quit. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're moving the ball. What do we do? We're just going to run 50 seconds off the clock because you're scared? You're scared? Oh, okay. I mean, that sends a hell of a message to your team. And then B, as he's coming off the field, they're just doing a bunch of copycat stuff that other teams have done to us that we haven't adjusted to. My man, you got a staff of thousands. What do you mean? After the game, he's talking about, they did some things to us that Oklahoma did. Yes, that's what people do, Nick. Yeah. They look at the film. What were you guys preparing for?
Well, it's like the second pick. The way that Kirk described it, I think, is correct. They're showing cover 2. They're rolling cover 3. It's a disguise for the casual fan. And clearly there's a sight adjust for the receiver, kind of like Jimbo's offense, right? The receiver's going to do one thing or the other because I think it was Judy he was throwing to. But they're talking off the field, and Judy's like, no, man, the coverage was this. Tua.
Yeah.
It was this.
Tua didn't play well.
And that's where Brent got burnt early on that first score because, he left the guys no help. Was it Leggett?
Yeah.
He left him, the safety, he left him no help
that poor
whatsoever.
Kid.
You're on an island.
I was like, my man, you're not covering
and
that.
And you get the stanky leg from Judy, and then that's it, man, out the gate. But the risks he took paid off in the long term. And that was one of those times it paid off. And by the way, in looking at the replays there, anybody want to come up and tackle a joker? That guy gets back over midfield from near the end zone.
I know, it's
How
crazy.
about some pursuit?
Alabama averaged 1.6 yards per play in the red zone last night. 1.6. They got shut down completely in the red zone, and they had no imaginative offensive play calling whatsoever in the red zone. Everything was just, we're going to go big personnel, and Tua, you go. It was crazy. It's like they didn't practice it. It was nuts to me. They averaged between the 20s on all other offensive plays, 7.4 yards. They moved the ball.
Oh, they ran the ball,
but they couldn't do anything. It gets bogged down. The field gets shortened in the red zone. You got to do something. You got to throw off of that. You got to have faith in your quarterback to put the ball in the air, and they just didn't do it. It was crazy.
They looked small and slow in the secondary. Think about that. Alabama looked small and slow in the secondary.
I'm looking at these. I looked this up. Alabama red zone plays in the second half. So they don't score, right? They don't score. They have 4 trips to the red zone. They came up with 1 touchdown all night. All right, so here you go. You have a rush for a loss of 7 yards, a rush for a loss of a yard, a rush for no game, a 7-yard completion, a 3-yard scramble, desperate run thing, and an incomplete pass. Hey, what are you doing?
So the cool thing, too, and I thought it was a great about 60 seconds of a nutshell of why he was outcoached and how he was outcoached. It spoke to the larger talking point. Was before the fake kick. So the fake field goal happens.
The whole stadium knew it was coming.
Well, you might as well at that point let Tua throw the ball on 4th and 6.
It was unbelievable. I started laughing. Well, I tweeted about that too.
So I rewound to the end of 3rd down because I wanted to see both coaches. That's why I love this freaking channel. I wish it was available like for hardcores every single game. I know they don't have the manpower to do it. But I wanted to see. And so from about 10 seconds after, the special teams are coming on. Alabama's is coming on, so now Dabo knows that they're going to go line up for a kick at least. Mm-hmm. Look out for the fake. He is screaming at every moment to every kid, fake, 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 fake. And Nick is talking to his special teams coach, and I think they exchanged words like, is this going to happen? And the answer was yes. And so he walked down by himself, and he sees the alignment. And so how many guys did they have back about 5-6 yards?
Yeah.
Like a handful of dudes in safe. And you could see the faraway stare. He knows it's not going to work. You could have zoomed in with "Hello, darkness, my old friend," but Nick didn't call the timeout.
Call timeout,
and that's the moment right there. It was over in that moment. He knew a timeout was necessary, and he didn't call it.
How much does a quarterback mean? Clemson had 482 yards and 44 points against Alabama. The previous year with Bryant at quarterback in that game they lost in the Sugar Bowl, 188 yards and 6 points. 1 year earlier. It's just crazy.
Well, that's the thing. They're not dead and buried. It's not like Alabama's gone forever.
Oh, they have the number 1 recruiting class every year. They've got nothing but studs everywhere. So, of course, they can't go anywhere. And they get to play in a league that has one good quarterback. So they don't get exposed the way they would if they played in a league that had quarterbacks.
But you need to improve over guys like Thompson and Savion Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, point blank, in order to be able to compete with these guys.
Oh, thank God the vast majority of that defensive line is gone for Clemson. Those are some damn studs. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
ESPN Radio.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Look around. That's right. You see Nissans everywhere. Tallahassee has officially become a Nissan town. Kraft Nissan Town. Why? Because Kraft Nissan has the best pricing, best selection, and the best buying experience in town. And at Kraft Nissan, you get the best value for your dollar with more standard features, our exclusive and the original lifetime warranty, our easy choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our New For You program that helps people with damaged credit, and every new 2018 Nissan we sell has available 0% interest interest for 60 months, plus $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They'll greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Kraft difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. And remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
At CarMax, when we say we buy all the cars, we mean it. Over the last 20 years, we've purchased millions of cars from coast to coast. In the last year alone, we bought a mountain of Mercurys, an armada of Nissans, a ton of Titans, an ocean of Pacificas, and a sea of Siennas. Not to mention a few Hellcats and a couple of Tornadoes. So no matter what you're selling, CarMax is buying. And we'll buy your car even if you don't buy ours. CarMax, we buy all the cars.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left!
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Thursday night, it's a Pac-12 battle when UCLA heads to Oregon. Hey, how are you, folks? This is Jason Horowitz of Westwood One. Join Justin Kutcher and PJ Carlissimo live from Eugene for all the action. Can the Bruins win a third straight since firing head coach Steve Alford? Or will the Ducks get their first conference win of the year? Tune in to find out. If it's NCAA basketball, it's right here
on 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster. This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
But it's hard for me to do that when I have to tell you that Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Justin Ross, T. Higgins, Amari Rodgers, etc. are all coming back. They're all coming back. It's a toughie. That's a toughie.
I'd rather go through a rebuild when we don't have a chance at the title.
I agree with you.
I think it's a little easier that
Going to
way.
get to that, too. That'll make me feel better. Alabama is part of a group that includes Alabama, but also Clemson, that sees a trend of number one seeds that can't get it done. The top seed has to win the national title in the first 5 years of the college football playoff. The lower seed has won each of the 4 college football national championships between the two teams. You know, Alabama lost it this year. 2017, Clemson was the one. 2016, Alabama was the one. 2015, Clemson was the one.
That's right. Yeah, and Ohio State, of course, completed the dream, their first college football playoff try, the first year of the college football playoff, and everybody thought they were the throw-in team over whatever it was, TCU, I think, or Oklahoma.
The winner, the Baylor TCU.
Baylor TCU, yeah, because they couldn't declare a true champion. Yeah.
By the way, Alabama on the season trailed for 53 offensive plays in 14 games. They trailed for 70 of their 73 plays in the national championship game. That's just remarkable.
The pick six was stunning to start the game.
Yeah, it set the tone. It was something to behold. I'm going back to, there are some flattering numbers for Florida State that was brought up in some of the post-game ESPN stats and info stuff that I saw. Clemson's the first undefeated national champion in the 5 seasons of the CFP, but the last was, of course, Florida State that went 14-0 in 2013, which was the final year of the BCS. And, of course, we were the first ever wire-to-wire team. So we're in heady company there, but so are they now. And they went 15-0. And you got to go back to the 1800s to find somebody to do that. So it was Penn, 1897, if you're wondering.
Yeah, the post-game I saw, I think they played all of those games within a span of 60-something days.
Is that the 16 games to the 15 games?
Yeah,
Penn, 15. Yeah, that's funny. In 1894, a few years earlier, Yale still goes down in history as the only ever 16-0 team. That's actually happened. So Yale is that team. There were 2 other teams playing college.
How much would you favor Clemson over Yale by? That classic team.
Oh, the 1894 squad?
Yes.
Had a little speed on the edge now. I'd take Clemson minus 180. Just the time would run out. Maybe they couldn't get to 200. But, yeah, it would be a pretty easy day at the office. Okay, so here's what I will do. Let's save this because I went long in the opening segment. When I come back, it's not all doom and gloom. We got to go back and kind of jog the memory here and remind ourselves how tenuous these kind of dynastic runs are, not named Alabama, and also how quickly things can turn. It's a player, it's a moment, it's a quarterback, it's one class, it's that kind of thing. And we'll touch on that in a moment. First, here's what you do. You go online, you go to mypillow.com. You get you 4 brand new pillows. Woo! 2 go anywhere pillows. 2 regular bad boys. That offer, kicking butt, taking names, staying with it. All 4 of them right now, money back guarantee, free shipping. Best offer they've ever had. Of course, these things made right here in the good old US of A. You can wash them. You can dry them. They don't lose their shape. I sleep on one every single night. I did last night while I contemplated what I just watched. I laid my head on that MyPillow, and I thought, oh, you're comfortable. What do we have to do to get back to our rightful place atop college football? And I fell fast asleep. MyPillow.com for the 4-pack special right now. Use my promo code 979ESPN. That's 979ESPN. Easy breezy. Go to MyPillow.com for the 4-pack special. Promo code 979ESPN.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
97.9 ESPN Radio.
Hi, this is Gene Deckeroff for Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. 2019 is here, and we've got to get rid of all the remaining 2018s. And the only way to do that is to offer employee pricing on over 50 Jeep Wranglers in stock. We've never been able to offer such unbelievable prices on Jeep Wranglers, and with over 50 in stock, they all must go. Buy one for as low as $29,900 or save up to $5,600 on in-stock vehicles. The all-new 2019 Ram 1500 is Motor Trend Truck of the Year, and it's breaking all kinds of records. We have over 80 Ram 1500s in stock with up to $11,000 off MSRP. You can't go wrong. Motor Trend Truck of the Year and up to $11,000 off MSRP. It's the deal of the year. There's only one place to go. Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat on the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle. We're right on the corner and always right on the price. Or visit us on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. Dealer retains all rebates and incentives plus tax, tag, and dealer fee.
Hi, I'm President John Thrasher. I'm here with some of our outstanding marching chiefs. They've been invited to an incredible opportunity, and they need your help. Next June, the marching chiefs will travel to France and represent both the state of Florida and the United States at the 75th anniversary of the D-Day invasion on the beaches of Normandy. As both an Army veteran and the president of the university dedicated to student veteran success, I know what a meaningful opportunity this is for these talented musicians. But experiences like this can be out of reach for many students. So today, I'm asking for your support so we can send as many of our marching chiefs as possible to this monumental event. Visit give.fsu.edu/Normandy. Thank you, and go Noles!
If you have frequent heartburn, take control of it with Prilosec OTC instead of stashing antacids everywhere. Like in your junk drawer, buried under old batteries and hotel pens. Or in your purse, hiding in the one pocket you won't check. You even have antacids on your nightstand, which are very hard to see in the dark. It's time you stopped stashing antacids and started taking Prilosec OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn.
It's possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days, not for immediate relief. and Wingo.
Give me the one school you think that might be able to upset the Alabama-Clemson stronghold. Not even close?
Be Georgia.
It is Georgia.
Jake Fromm will be one more year, then he'll be in the draft as well as Tua. He's a very accurate quarterback. They have talent up and down that roster that makes it that goes to the NFL, and I trust the quarterback. LSU, I mean, again, the quarterback position is the worrisome part for me there. I'm not worried about the quarterback at Clemson. I'm not worried about the quarterback at Alabama, and I'm not worried about the quarterback at Georgia. They're talking about other teams that were in the playoffs. Notre Dame was in the playoffs. Ian Book will be back. They definitely have some talent coming back as well. But we saw there's a difference, especially in the speed aspect, between teams like Clemson and Bama and Georgia and Notre Dame. Being a fun game next year. Notre Dame goes to Georgia, goes to Athens next year. Right. So that'll be a fun game to watch. But if you had me pick one team, it would be Georgia.
Golick and Wingo, weekdays at 6 a.m. on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Go from here.
Today's Vision Check brought to you by the Law Office of Jose Fernandez. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. That's 1-855-HOSE-305. That's fun to say. 1-855-HOSE-305. Office is Tallahassee, Miami.
Open your eyes.
My glasses! I can't see without my glasses.
My glasses. I can't be seen without my glasses. That is absolutely horrendous.
I don't believe this call is accurate.
Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Man, I can see.
You lack vision.
It's time for the Vision Check.
Yeah, a couple things here in the Vision Check. First things first, all right? The game got away from Alabama, and I do think Clemson is the better team. And I was leaning in that direction all week long when we were talking about it last week. I got a little scared when the public went so heavily towards Clemson, so I didn't bet my own money on the game, and I'm kicking myself for that. But having said that, the reason we think it turned out to be true, you look at it, the quarterback position, the kid's a stud, and Clemson does such a great job of developing players. And recruiting to their system, sticking with it, developing guys. But in truth, and again, having said all of that, Alabama's able to run the ball between the 20s. Those turnovers killed them. They also sucked on third down. Both ways. They were awful on third down, was Alabama, 4 of 11 on third down attempts. So that's not going to get it done. And then they couldn't stop Clemson on third down. So that's a tough way. I mean, you can't win football games if every time the other team is third and long, they get it and convert it, and with big plays, not just convert it, either touchdowns or long bombs, whatever they were. And meanwhile, Alabama in the red zone, short yardage situations, key third downs, miserable in this football game. There's that, and then like I said, the turnovers. That's your game in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I think the thing that breaks their will is the third down success of Clemson on offense. Because they're doing everything right to get him in that situation. That's the nature of third down. As Bucs fans, we are well versed in this particular existence. And I know Alabama fans aren't used to it. And the players aren't used to it. That's the other thing, too, is these players are not used to putting themselves in this kind of position so often and then not being rewarded for it. So it's like a whole new experience. Meanwhile, it's the national championship game. So you got to get yourself off the mat. They think they do, and then Lawrence hits him with another freaking haymaker. I mean, it only makes sense that perfect throw to the back of the end zone is on a 3rd and goal, right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Of course it was.
Yeah. I know Corey's favorite stat is this one that I'm about to give. Alabama allowed 30 unanswered points, but they really were unanswered this time. There were no answering. He hates when people bring that up.
I hate that too. Because the final point is unanswered. If somebody, breaks a string, it's 30 straight points.
Yeah. No, 30 straight points. Yeah.
I'm with him 100%.
I know. The last 3 games that Alabama played, they gave up 106 points. Well, what's the common theme there, kids? The only 3 good teams they played, A, B, all 3 have a quarterback. So, again, we'll prattle on about Alabama. They played 3 good teams. All 3 lit them up.
Yeah, it doesn't undo the legacy of the program.
Of course it doesn't. He's 6-2 in national championship games. He's one of the greatest, if not the greatest coach of all time. But the point is, they can be beat. And if they face a quarterback, they often get torched.
Yes.
Johnny Manziel threw all over their ass. You go on down the list of people that are good in the college game that light up that defense.
You have to be special, though. You can't just be like an above average guy.
Yeah, you got to be, yes, you got to be special. Yeah. And I agree with that. But it's, I mean, and we talk, I don't want to go all Danny Cannell here, but the SEC went 6-6 in their bowls, and their two best teams got their head kicked in.
I like how you phrased that.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm serious. I mean, they went 6-6 in bowl games, and their two best teams got it handed to them.
Well, okay, so we talked about this on the phone yesterday, and that was that, listen, not for nothing. I get motivation and situation dictates some of the context.
Yeah, but
here.
Texas had players that were requisite of the task.
They don't have the depth that Georgia does, but they certainly woke Georgia up. In the second quarter, Georgia was going, whoa, okay.
Well, Georgia got mad, yeah.
These guys could play a little bit, though. So they got mad, and it didn't really improve all that much.
Didn't make a difference.
And then Oklahoma, obviously, in the second half, I think they had a little bit of sticker shock. I think Kyler Murray certainly did. If you look in his eyes in the first half,
in the game, yeah.
He has no idea what that speed is and that aptitude on defense. He has not seen that.
The physicality they don't see every week in the Big 12.
No.
But then he adjusted.
They did.
They start moving the ball.
For my money, that the Big 12 and others, so to speak, right, are not that far away. Now, they need more depth.
Right. Leagues with quarterbacks.
Yes.
I mean.
Well, Ellinger ain't going anywhere. It's not like he's going to really go to the draft. Was he going to be an H-back?
Nobody in the Pac-12 is beating Alabama, but there's some Big 12 quarterbacks that put a number on that defense. I'll just say that. But
okay, so are we now changing the question though? Who's beating Clemson instead of who's beating Alabama?
Well, nobody right now in the ACC is beating Clemson. We're not that close. But this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to remind us all, and it's good for us because we're so reactionary after a game like that, and we all are. It's human nature. But what you saw was impressive. And the way they dismantled Notre Dame, for example, and we weren't even competitive with Notre Dame, and obviously the way they just came in here and did whatever they wanted against us after the first quarter. And then, you see this, everybody we played that was any good beat us soundly. You watch Clemson, and they're just, unsheathed. It's unbelievable. So here we go, right? Let's go to this, okay? We were Clemson just a few years ago, and they were us. Last night, right? Their fan base watched us in 2013 after Jameis had rolled in there in their backyard with the nation watching in their little 25-minute bus ride around the stadium. They came in there and got absolutely obliterated by a redshirt freshman quarterback, and everywhere they looked on that field, they said, Florida State's got better players than we do. They're better coached than we are. They just humbled us in a way that I never saw coming. We thought it was our coronation. We're not even close to Florida State. They couldn't even beat Sean McGuire. Sean McGuire. Couldn't beat him. So they lose, and it's 2014. They lose again, and they're going, we're not going to beat these guys. We can't even beat these guys. We got asterisks up here trying to claim titles we didn't even win. We're not even close to Florida State. That was in 2014. And then all of a sudden, it's 2018, and they're the best program in the nation. It can happen like that.
I agree with you on most of the points. Like, for example, Dabo was 6-7 in his third year.
They're about to fire his ass.
Right. But the difference, I would say, is our climb is steeper because even in the year we pants them in their own house, right? Mm-hmm. They beat Ohio State in the Orange Bowl. And the next year they beat Oklahoma in another big-time bowl.
Well, that's the other problem right now. Every time they play anybody who's any good, they win that game. It's 7 straight times he's been an underdog. They've won the game in the postseason.
Yeah.
He's not having it.
That I haven't fact-checked that, but that sounds precisely right. Because every time they play a team of any
well, it's like LSU, it's Ohio State, it's
right.
Oklahoma.
If it's not Alabama,
it's Alabama.
Yeah, if it's not Alabama in the postseason, you book it. They're winning it. Yeah, LSU, Ohio State twice, Oklahoma twice, Notre Dame now, Alabama twice, 3 times.
Yeah, and listen,
no, it's twice.
I know you could argue it, but they came really close to winning the one that they lost. I know they got blown out last year, but I'm saying. Mm-hmm. That they could have won that one too.
I thought the results should have been flipped.
I thought they should have been flipped too. But so anyhow, the point is, they were real close to winning 3 or 4. They are every bit that program is my point. They are right there with them, and the difference is quarterback,
which means they're better for the next 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
See how gutted their defensive line is from year to year. They recruit well, obviously, because they're elite.
They're so well coached and developed. Again, he's got good coaches all around him, and that's the solace you take. What Willie wants to become is what Dabo has become after much consternation. Dabo was this close, as you just referenced, to being fired. He thought he was going to his firing. He has said that since. After finishing 6 and 7, he's called the athletic director's office and he thinks this is it. He tells his wife he'll get fired. He gives him a vote of confidence. We believe in you. I mean, we got to get some wins around here, but we believe in you. Hang in there. I'm going to back you. And then, boom. Good thing they were patient, right? Works out. So at that time, at that juncture, we're laughing at him. What are they doing? That guy. This guy can't coach. And now he's great. And the kids love him. He recruits like a Jesse. He's got great coaches all over him, around him.
He was high-stepping last night down the sideline in the second half,
loving
too.
Loving life. And he's got it on autopilot, or so it seems. But it's a player. It's one off the field. It's an injury. It's just, it can happen so quick.
This is where Saban's approach, until Dabo is proving you can do it another way in this time, in this era, Saban's approach was so refreshing to that end because it could end at any moment. And Saban was always been paranoid against the end, the imminent end.
How would you like to be at their football offices today in Alabama? Oh, that man was humiliated. He got de-pantsed on national television. They didn't score a point in the second half. 44-16. You're not even competitive. I would love to be there. I would love to be a fly on the wall.
How would you like to be a coach in the first coaches meeting? And how would you like to be a player in spring ball?
My God. He's already impossible. Imagine him now. Imagine him in the press conference, the next one. That guy who's the worst all the time. Belittling the press for asking legitimate questions. You're going to sit Tua? Why would we do that? I don't know. He gets hurt every week. Dumbass. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Join Justin Kutcher and PJ Carlesimo live from Eugene for all the action. Can the Bruins win a third straight since firing head coach Steve Alford? Or will the Ducks get their first conference win of the year? Tune in to find out. If it's NCAA basketball, it's right here.
On 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's Sports Monster. Coming this April.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball, left field, playable. Ronald Acuna, fittingly. He's got it. The Atlanta Braves are National League East champions.
The NL East champs are back. Catch Atlanta Braves baseball all spring and summer long on Tallahassee Sports Monster, 97.9 ESPN Radio. The Jeff Cameron Show is brought to you by Cornerstone Tool and Fastener. Big store pricing with local service. Online at ctf.nu.
Well, it does give you pause again. There are some parallels, and hopefully there'll be more of them. But Willie going out and bringing in Kendall Briles, again, I'm going to remove myself from the larger conversation about the controversy surrounding that hire. The point is this. You hired a really, really elite offensive coordinator. Okay? You washed your hands of running the offense, which means you recognized you've got to do some other things that are more important than calling plays. And you recognized your failures. That in year one, things did not go as planned. Partly, some of that, you inherited a mess of a locker room and injury-laden offensive line that's not very good and hadn't been recruited to in some time. But you also did some things poorly. You evaluated poorly. Obviously, preparation wasn't our specialty this year across the board. So some things that
what a wonderful T-shirt. Preparation was not our specialty.
Not this
and you can just
past
have
year.
a chef going, oops.
Oopsie. We weren't prepared for that. So, these things, they happen. Okay. But they can't keep happening because that's how the hell you get fired. And a willingness to put that down and go, all right. This is my dream job. I'm not going to lose this job without a fight. I'm going to do what I've got to do. I'm going to go and bring in some coaches, and we're going to get this righted. And that's exactly what Dabo did. Dabo was failing miserably. Those fans wanted his ass out of there. They're 6-7 after 3 years. He's stumbling around in the dark. And then he goes, okay, all right, let's go get Morris. Let's go get Brent Venables. I'll take a pay cut. I got to do what I got to do or I'm going to lose this job.
Well, the good news for Willie is that DeAndre is enrolled in classes this spring at Florida State University, so help is on the way.
Let me just address this because this is something that's come up now on my Twitter feed and inbox repeatedly. People are taking that to mean that kid's going to be the starting quarterback next year. First of all, he's taking classes. They're not going to kick him out of school. So just because he takes classes, you can't be like, oh, that kid's still alive. What are we doing?
Wait for spring practice in 8 weeks.
And here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't care if he's out there. He may very well be out there. He's not starting for us next year. He's not. Don't worry about it. He's going to be elsewhere. He is going to be elsewhere.
You're asking for blind trust on this one.
That's not blind trust. I'm telling you that he's not going to be out there as a starting quarterback for us next year. Now, if he wants to take classes, hell, if he wants to be part of the brethren, okay, what are you going to do? It's spring. Okay. He's not starting for us. So don't just deep breaths, man. Deep breaths. Everybody calm down.
Is he on the roster in the fall?
I don't think so, no. Okay. No, I don't believe so. No.
I see the nuance here. I see where you're arriving.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. So I just listen, I'm not too worried about it. I know everybody else is. And I get it. It's like publicly that's a scary look. You're kind of, what are we doing here?
Well, the way the Blackman thing was handled at the end of the season with the red shirt at the 11th hour, of course.
But
people
that's
have a right
weird,
to be concerned.
They do. It's one of the mishandling moments, several of them.
My God.
Well, but here's the deal. I have since learned they did want a red shirt. They did. Now, I would
the whole time.
I mean, this is I'm not going to betray sources, but they wanted a red shirt.
Okay. So they played him for no damn reason in the Wake game.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Another mistake.
Bunch of fools.
Yes. But we're not going to revisit the litany of mistakes that were made a year ago.
Well, this is new information to
but
me. I'm gonna process
we're
this
just
during
not going to.
headlines.
It doesn't matter. It's they made a lot of mistakes, and they're in the process of trying to fix these mistakes. And I'm going to applaud that for now. I'm going to look to this Clemson national championship team as an example of what can be. I'm serious. You have no choice, for starters. Secondly, I actually think that it's a hell of a thing to be able to take a step back and go, whoo, I'm about to lose my dream job. I better get this right. So assuming they're going to bring in Clements, assuming they're going to bring in Dugans, assuming that they have already brought in Kendall Briles, okay, all right, let's go.
I hear you, and I will look forward at another time, but you just dropped some news on me, so I'm going to dwell on this Wake Forest decision a little bit longer and process
We'll
that.
talk more about this off the air. That's the least of our concerns, them butchering that situation.
God bless us all.
We had many situations. It's a miracle we won 5 games. It kind of is. Hey, we're going to be at the Deck on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. Florida State basketball against Duke. By the way, we're going to lose that game, but it's going to be a lot of fun to see a generational player. They're fighting for tickets. People, I mean, it's unbelievable. That atmosphere is going to be awesome. So why not meet us at the Deck downtown? That Deck is always, it's iconic, right? It used to be Po' Boy's Deck, if you're wondering what I'm talking about. Now it's called The Deck. The pizza, incredible. We're going to be there sipping on some cold ones, getting ready to go watch Zion and hope like hell we can pull an upset.
T-shirts, giveaways, $50 to the Deck if you get the score predictor contest right. That's right. You pick the Noles to win because then you're in the pool because you got the right side of the equation.
You don't have to.
No, I mean, you could pick Duke, and if they won. But, I mean, the Noles are going to, number 13 is going to be number 1.
No, we're going to win tomorrow, and then we're going to lose to Duke, and we'll be 1-2. And that's fine. I predicted that. I feel good about that. And then from there, it's time to buckle up.
It's also happy hour all day. So when the game is over, come on back to the Deck. The folks who brought you Metro Deli are doing the Deck, and they're going to have the NFL playoffs on, some live music as well.
Love it. Love it. All right, so Seminole Headlines is girthy. We had a lot of content. Ooh. There's an extra segment that won't be heard on today's Seminole Headlines because we don't have room for it.
It's so vile that you can't put it on. I couldn't censor it enough.
It will be in the podcast version of Seminole Headlines. You'll get all 5 segments of the second hour. Just 4 segments in the first hour. But you get 5 in the second hour. But regular terrestrial radio, which is also great, will only feature the 4 and 4, okay? That's the way we got it. Enjoy the show. It's great. It's fun. And then we'll be back with you full on all 3 hours tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Don't forget the Deck this weekend. All right, good job, Tom. Good job, Matthew. Be well, everybody. Enjoy some of the headlines next.